Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. I really do appreciate it so very much. Today I have a very different video than what I have done in the past, and this is actually a collab with my friend Andrea here on YouTube. We did a spring swap box a few months ago, so I'll link our videos down below so you can see those. We are both part of a group called Geeks and Beauties on Facebook, who help each other out on YouTube and share ideas and do collaborations. So this is a collaboration that she created and asked me if I would be interested, and I was like, oh yeah, that sounds awesome. Her idea when she originally talked to me was, I want to do a video about perfume and how it would be a Disney character. And I was like, oh, that sounds really interesting. I love perfume. Obviously, I have lots of perfume videos here on YouTube. And she said that she wanted to make it different. And I was like, oh, okay. So what we are doing is we are looking at if a male Disney character was a perfume, what would they be? So it's a little different. It's a little gender bending. It's a little outside the box. She is doing villains, so make sure that you check out her video. I will make sure I link it down below as well. And then I'm hoping that we can do more of these and do different groups of Disney people, because I'm doing the heroes and she's doing the villains, the male villains, and I would love to do the female villains or princesses, sidekicks. I think sidekicks would be awesome, both like villainy sidekicks as well as the heroic sidekicks. So I'm hoping that we can turn this into a series. I have to talk to her about that too. So hopefully she'll make a comment down below. Anyway, so I want to thank her so much for asking me to do this, and I'm going to jump right in and say this was not easy. I'm going to grab my notes because we decided to narrow it down to 5. And we were going through just lists of everything. And then I was trying to think of all of the perfumes I have and how I would do this. And some of them were very easy and some of them were very hard. We're going to start with one of the more easy ones for me. So the first hero I chose is Tarzan. And I will have like a picture up here or maybe over here. And when I think of Tarzan, obviously you think of the jungle, and then I think about the sense of the jungle and how there's a lot of greenery, but there's also like earth. There's the smell of the earth, and there's fruits in there too, I'm sure, but I've never been to a jungle, so it's all what I imagine. And when I think of greens and earth, one scent comes to mind, and that is Peace, Love, and Juicy by Juicy Couture. This is a very green scent. It's very outdoorsy. When I smell it, I smell like leaves and grass. And so this is why I definitely thought that this would be a great scent for Tarzan. And this would be like, if I had to embody him in a scent, definitely this one. Another really easy one for me was Prince Erik from The Little Mermaid. Little Mermaid was probably my first favorite Disney movie, and I was lucky enough to meet Jodie Benson last year at a comic convention, and just about cried, was really holding back those tears, and completely did not think about meeting Prince Erik whatsoever. So this is kind of redemption. But anyway, when I think of Prince Erik, he obviously is on a ship when we first see him. He lives by the sea, so I really wanted something that smelled like the sea. But when you think about The Little Mermaid, yes, there's the tropical elements of it, but when you're actually looking at where they live, they're not living in the tropics. They're living in Europe, which the sea is going to smell a lot different there. And it's going to be cooler, but it's also going to be more briny. And I chose Innis. It's really hard to see. This is an Irish scent. It comes out of Ireland, and it's called The Energy of the Sea. It is a unisex scent, so it is made for men and women, and I really think that it works because it does have that brininess to it. And it's a cooler sea, which is part of the reason why I thought it would work perfectly for Prince Erik. But that is that one. Another easy one for me, really there's one that was hard, but this one was pretty easy for me, was Christoph. I love Frozen. When Frozen came out, I was like, this movie is awesome. I didn't even know like what it was, and my mom was like, go take your cousin's kids to it. I've heard lots of great things, and I was like, what? I've never heard of this movie. And then sitting in it, I was like, this movie is so awesome. I think I probably enjoyed it more than those girls did, but Christoph, he is lovely. He works out in nature in Norway, in the Nordic country, and you know, obviously he's friends with trolls and reindeer. And yes, it's cold, but Norway is not always like that. It has summer, and I'm sure that he enjoys the summer outside as well. And so I decided to choose a scent that is actually, it's a Norwegian scent. I bought this in Disney World when I was there. I actually got to meet the perfumer too. I've talked about it before on my channel, but it is by Gearness, and it's called Layla, the Essence of Norway. And it's autographed, so that's why it looks a little different, because his autograph is on the back of the bottle. And this, everything that's in it is something that grows in Norway. So I thought of more of the summery times, because I didn't want something that was icy. And it's really hard to picture something that's icy. And Christoph really isn't an icy person. Like, he's a very warm person. So I felt this was a better scent. And it's very springy and light, and you can smell just nature in it, which I really enjoy. So that is my scent for Christoph. Prince Philip is next, and I had a hard time kind of narrowing down who I wanted to do. So a couple of them, obviously I had a scent of the sea and I had a scent of Norway. So those ones, those heroes were very easy for me. And then I kind of thought, maybe do I want this one? Do I want that one? I couldn't really think about what would be a good prince or hero and how that would relate to my perfume collection as well. And then I thought of Prince Philip, and what does he do? He battles through rose bushes, right? So I thought his scent has to be roses, because what else would it be? Because he deals with so much roses in Sleeping Beauty. So I chose this one, and this is an indie as well. These are a lot of smaller ones, I'm sorry. It's La Eau de Rose, and it is by Jean Arthes, A-R-T-H-E-S. And this one I got, I think, in a glossy box. This is the most rose scented of all of my rose scented perfumes. It is very much the essence of roses. So I felt like this would be, if somebody was out in the roses and handing roses and doing, like, battling through them, they would smell like roses. And it doesn't smell like fake roses. It is very much a rose scent in nature, which I really enjoyed. So this is for Prince Philip. My final one was the hardest for me. I couldn't decide. Like, I thought of Aladdin, but I don't really have a lot of oriental or spicy scents, which is what I would picture for him. I thought about Prince Naveen, but I couldn't pinpoint what his essence would be. So I went with my favorite of all of the heroes, Flynn Rider, because he's delightful and wonderful, and I've met Zachary Levi. He's one of my favorite actors, and I actually I didn't recreate, but I had roses in my hair because I have the long Rapunzel-ish hair. So I was like, I have to do Flynn Rider. So I was kind of set on him. but trying to pinpoint what his essence would be was really hard, because everything that I could think of was like, he's outdoorsy, but then how is he different than Tarzan? Like, yes, he's out in nature. He's has really expensive sensibilities because he's a thief and he's trying to do stuff. But I couldn't really figure out how to embody that, because yes, he wants expensive stuff, but he's also not rich, so he wouldn't have like a more expensive scent. And then I thought about his smolder, and I decided that I was going to go for the passion, and something that's a little seductive but also kind of clean, because as much of a bad boy as he wants to be, he's also a really good guy, which is part of the reason why he's such a fun like character in the Disney canon. So I went with Giorgio Armani Si Passione, because it does have a slight passionate scent to it. Like you get that depth, but it's also very playful and it's clean, and it doesn't overpower like a lot of other scents. So that was, and I'm still not sure if it's quite what I would say is his essence. But for right now, that's what I have. That's the closest thing to him. It's difficult. It's a hard thing. I would love to hear what your ideas are on these. Like, if you had to choose Disney male heroes, what scents would you correlate with them? Put them down below, because I would love to see what your thoughts are on it. And let me know if you would be interested in seeing more of these. I had a lot of fun doing it, so I hope that you had fun as well. If you have not subscribed already, if you wouldn't mind subscribing, it would mean so very much to me. I hope you are all having a fantastic day, and I'll talk to you next time.